Hello, everybody. It is me, the True Bluesnar, and today I'm admiring this tree I made. What do you guys think of it? You like my tree? I'll show you some of the colors. Look at this thing. It's a pretty nice pine tree. I'm digging it. Anyway, today we're not just going to be talking about my tree, we're also going to be talking about environments, and not the kind that you want to save and protect, but the kind in video games that give a game its feeling and give it exactly what makes it the game. You know what I mean? Alrighty. So, because I'm working in Blender, what I usually do is I do it in multiple stages basically. So I first do it in Blender and then import it into Unity and then mess around with it there. So yeah, as I was saying, it's kind of a convoluted process because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is my first time ever doing something like this, and so like naturally I am going to be a noob at it. So the structure we have now, I think works best because if we need to make any changes in Unity, we can do that without having to go back to Blender and mess around there. So now this comes into our next issue is we're using Unity and Blender, which is great. They're both amazing programs, but when I need to like test out the reload animation, let's say, it's hard to do that without like actually booting up Unity. And because I do a lot of my work at school, the school computers have Unity banned. I cannot install Unity on a school computer for a computer science class. Explain that to me. Why? It's computer science class. Okay, anyway, rant over. So yeah, we do the best with what we're given. So the thing with environments is they're actually really important to the mood of a game. You know what I mean? Where if the environment is really claustrophobic and cramped and foggy, it's going to be a creepy game. You're going to be scared because of it, right? Whereas if it's open and cheerful and it's begging you to explore it, that's going to be a totally different story. So we're trying to not make it horror so much because it's just a zombies mode, but we're trying to make it spooky. And so it's kind of difficult to do that with just props. How am I supposed to make rocks spooky looking? Or how am I supposed to make trees spooky looking? It's that sort of thing that's hard to do. So we're kind of, at least for the demo, we're more or less trying to make a workable space that's more or less what we want, but it's not going to be perfect. So basically, for this demo, we're doing a lot of in the air stuff. That's what a demo is after all, right? So a lot of this stuff is not going to be in the final game. It's just a placeholder for now. And it's obviously not the best. I'm the only one that's doing 3D modeling. Since Josh is doing a lot of the animations and stuff, I learned how to do Blender. And so that's another problem with having a small team or even just one person team, is that you're gonna have to learn a lot of different things, a lot of different skills, and that's great and all if you're good at that thing. But I second guess myself constantly. I cannot stick to one thing, and so that's why a lot of times I'll look to Josh and be like, "Hey, how's this looking?" Or "How are you feeling about this?" Or "What was your idea about this?" And it's great because I can just we can bounce ideas off of each other and then get the best product that way. But the problem still stands is that each one of us has, like, he's pretty much taken on Unity in its entirety, and because he's the only programmer developer we have, he's doing most of that work. And same thing with me in the art, because I'm the only like artist that we have. I'm doing most of the art and the 3D development, and so that's fine. It's one of those things where when you have a small team, It's good because you can keep the project within your original vision, and there's very little sway just because all you guys are probably passionate about it and looking to reach that final product. And that's one of the good things about it. However, on the flip side, you each have to learn so many skills. Like, I can tell you right now that when I first picked up Blender, I thought it was going to be mostly for character models, and I would like to say I got decently good at that. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I'm happy with the character models I've done. And so then with environments, I wasn't really expecting that at all. I kind of knew I had to do it, but I don't know. It was one of those weird things where I just kind of kept it at the back of my mind and didn't really think about it until it came to make the game. And I was like, oh crap, we need somewhere for the player to play the game. Like, who would have thought, right? And so yeah, now I'm working on environments and stuff, which is cool. It's been a challenge, but I would like to hear from you guys. What makes a good environment versus a bad environment? Because I'm curious, what games have good environments, and specifically what makes them good? Because right now I have a few ideas that I've come up with that are just kind of smaller islands or areas that the player will be able to go in, and nothing concrete right now. I was messing around with Blender, but apparently working in Unity for the actual the bigger parts of the environment is best. So like the actual play area versus the smaller ones. So like here I'm working on literally just a rock, and the idea is that you'd be able to copy and paste this rock in different places in the Unity environment, because then you can edit it, scale it up, that sort of thing, right? So yeah, we're starting with the survival mode, which is the round-based zombie shooter, and then we're gonna expand to the campaign next, and then multiplayer after those two. It's basically just building the fundamentals of all of them before moving on to the next thing. So for the survival mode, one of the most important things is the area you play in, right? And so we have kind of a general concept of what we want, but it's making that into a 3D image and something that is actually playable is quite difficult. It's a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. I find making characters to be quite easy in the sense where I sketch up some concept art and different perspectives that I want, and boom, then I can just break down into shapes and make the character. Whereas making play areas, it's a lot more complex than that. You have to think of what the player is doing and why they're playing it, right? What the movement's going to be like, how many zombies are going to accumulate in this spot, what the end goal is, how you're supposed to siphon the players into one spot without actually like forcing them there. You know what I mean? And so these are some of the questions that we ask ourselves when we're designing it. And I hope that the final product will show that we did care about it. You know, it won't be crappy, and it won't have any care. I hope that it'll show how much effort we put into it. And then that comes to my next point, is player feedback. I hope that you guys aren't afraid to give feedback, and that you will give feedback when we release our demo. And the idea is that it'll be, hey, I like this, I didn't like this, can you improve on that? And we'll take all these comments, take a step back, and go into a second programming phase after releasing the demo to try to fix all that. By the way, I'm making a fish here. It's not a penis. Please don't think I'm making a dick for OmegaSpin. This is a fish. It's coming along. It'll look better in a minute. Okay, just hang on for a second. Anyway, back to my original point. What was I talking about here? Sorry, I got distracted by the But the genitalia on screen. Um. Yeah. So environments and stuff. Jeez, man. Uh. Yeah, I think that kind of sums it up. I don't want this video is already long enough. It's going to be a longer one, but yeah, I kind of said everything I want to say here, and I've gotten you guys updated. So yeah, this week we're working on actual gameplay. We're getting animations done and hopefully getting some bullets and kills working with we're starting with just like dummies, and then we're gonna hopefully transfer that over to the actual zombies. As for updates, not really too much now. We still don't have a release schedule. We don't have anything along those lines, but I can tell you we're puddling away at it. And yeah, I'm hopefully growing my YouTube channel a bit to get our name out there, and I hope to get some gameplay reveal soon. I'm guessing in the next month or so. Keep in mind it does take a while for games to be developed, and it's only the two of us right now doing stuff. But yeah, that's about it. So I think I'll finish up the video here. But thank you guys for all the support and watching, of course. I really appreciate it. I've been doing really well lately on YouTube with regarding views and subscribers and support and all that stuff. So really, I can't thank you guys enough. Other than that, that's about it for me. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns about OmegaSpin or about life in general or whatever it may be, and I'll be sure to answer them. Alrighty. So you guys take care of yourselves, and remember, OmegaSpin forever.